viewers to Get You Learning Center with Mish and Nathan. So today we are going to talk about mathematics. So I have a question on the board. So the sketch shows the graph of y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8. Then this is a graph. Then we have the question there. So find the coordinates of A and B. Find also the minimum point of the graph. So this is the graph which have been given. Now for us to find the value for A and the value for B, where this part and this part are called the intercepts. So this is where the graph now is passing. So now the first thing to understand is that on this graph, we need to understand where the negative parts are and the positive parts are. So on the negative parts, we know that A is on the negative part, then B is on the positive part. So the answers we're going to find, we're expecting A to have a negative value and B to have a positive value. Away from that, on this question, again, we need to understand something like, whenever I find the turning point, the value for the turning point, either in x or y, we know that x is equal to negative b over 2a. Then in y, you'll find that y is equal to 4ac minus b squared over 4a. So you can use these two formula to know the turning point in x and in y. Now, A and B, they are not the turning point. So for us to find the value for A and value for B, which are representing the intercepts, we need to understand the formula which we are going to use. So there are two ways we can find the values for A and B. The first one, since we have been given this equation, y is equal to x squared minus 4 minus 2x minus 8. So for us to find the value, this is what we call the quadratic equation. So the quadratic equation, we can use the formula x is equal to negative b, positive or negative, square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So this formula can help us to come up with the two values for a and b. If you don't want to use this formula, you can use factorization method where you find the product, sum, and factors. This also can help us to come up with the answers for A and B. The formula, either this way or this way, the answers will be the same. So let's start with the first one. We know that this paper one, we don't use the calculate, but this one, they give the values which will give you a perfect square that's inside, which will give you also the answer without challenges. So for example, the data we have here is that A, we have 1, then B, we have -2. So we have -2, then C, we have -8. So this is our data from the equation. Then from here, we are going to use this information and fuse it into this formula. So we have x is equal to negative this negative, then open bracket. So B we have -2, so I'll put -2 here. Then positive or negative. Then we have B there, so B is -2. Then we square minus 4, then A, we have 1. So 1 there, then we have -8. From here, 2, then 1. So I've just introduced the figures in the formula. Then from here we can now solve. We know that negative to give us a positive, and positive or negative, square root. Then when you square a negative number, always you need to get a positive number. Then this is negative, this is also negative. So negative and this negative will give us a positive. Then 4 times 1 to give us a 4. Then the same 4 times 8, we're expecting to get 32. So over 2 by 1, we have 2. So the question now is simple there. So 2 positive or negative square root, when you add this one, you're getting 36. So 36 over 2. There from here, let me bring my calculations here. So from here, we know that we have now 2 positive or negative. The square root for 36, it will give us 6. So 6 over 2. So since we have the positive and the negative, what we need to do next is that we need to split this part into 2. So we'll say x is equal to this 2 and then this plus. So plus then 6 then over 2, or we'll say x is equal to 2. Now we get a minus. So minus 6 over 2. So 2 plus 6, we are getting 8 over 2. Then, of course, 2 into 8, we are getting 4. Then 2 minus 6. So 2 minus 6, we are getting a bigger number from a smaller number. So the answer will have a negative. So negative 4 over 2. Then 2 here, are getting negative 2. So the answers were 4 and 2. Now, since we're looking for the coordinates, this is not a coordinate. This is also not a coordinate. So the coordinates now will be, let me write my coordinates here. So I have 4, 0. Then I also have 2, 0. Now someone may ask, why are you getting these zeros? We need to understand that this line in the x-axis here, y is equal to 0. Then this line in the y-axis, we need to understand that x is equal to 0. So if I have a number here on the x-axis, I know that on the y-axis, I'm going to get a 0. So this is what these zeros are coming from. Now for you to put a and b, this is negative 2, which is here. So for you to put a and b, we know that b is on the positive side. So this one will be b, this one will be a. So those were the coordinates which we was looking at before. So this method, if you're not conversant, or if you're not comfortable, because someone can say this is too long. So now for us to find the one which can be short for us, we can use quadratic factorization method. So this formula is also useful if you're not conversant with factorization method. In case the factors troubles you to find, you can come up with this one, provided you're not forgetting how to multiply the negative signs and the other integers there. So now let me use the factorization method so that you choose which one will be very simple for you. So product, then you have sum and factors. So product, you multiply the a and c. So you have 1 here, 1 times negative 8, we get negative 8. Then this is our sum, so negative 2. Factors. Factors, we want to find two numbers which we can multiply to get negative 8. The same numbers, we add them, we get negative 2. So we know that 1 and 8 itself, when we multiply them, we're going to get 8. But if you can add 1 plus 8, you're going to get a 9. Even if you say negative 1 plus 8, you will not have these two. So the only possibilities we have is to look for 2 and 4. Because we know that 2 and 4 give us 8. Then if you add these two, will give us a 6. So one of these two should have a negative. Now let's try this. If we put this one, we give it a negative. Then we say negative 2 times 4. Of course, negative 8 is here. Now negative 2 plus 4. What are we getting? We're getting positive 2. So we will now swap what the negative sign will be. So we will now say this one, 4 will have a negative. 4 will have a negative. So 2 times negative 4, are getting negative 8. Then 2 plus, open bracket, negative 4. So 2, then positive negative, say negative. So negative 4 here, and from here, we'll say negative 2 minus 4. Bigger number is coming from a smaller number, so the answer will have a negative 2. So here is negative 2. So the factors we have is 2 and negative 4. So these are our factors. Then after finding the factors, the next thing or the second step we are going to do, we are going to use the same equation. We'll say y is equal to, y is now is equal to x to the power 2. While there is this negative 2, it will be replaced now. So we have negative 4 here, so negative 4x, we have 2 here, it is positive, so plus 2. Then this part or this part will be maintained. So 2x here minus 8. So the essence of finding the factors is to replace this middle value, negative 2, by these two factors we have looked for. From here, we'll say now y will equate now y to 0. So we'll say x squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 is equivalent to 0. Then we can group this, so we can do something like this. Then we do factorization. So factorization now, we need to find what is common here. So of course, x is common, then if we remove 1x, we remain 1x, in minus, then 4 here. So I'll factorize this part, this is a plus, we find what is common here, of course it is 2. So 2, open bracket, we remain with x minus 2 into 8, we have 4 here, which is equal to 0. So these two now are similar. We know that now where we are going on the right direction, in the right direction. From here, the next thing, we will now say, since this and this are similar, just get 1. So this x, this is positive 2, so plus 2 is equal to 0. Then we'll say x minus 4 is also equal to 0. So if positive x jumps the equal sign and comes here to become a negative, then 0 minus that number, let me just use this part. So we have x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to this 0 will be here, will be maintained here. Then this is negative. This is positive there, so it will become a negative, so negative 2. So x is equal to 0 minus 2, getting negative 2. The other one, this other part, this is negative. So when negative 4 crosses the equal sign, it will become a positive. So meaning that we are going to say x minus 4 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 plus 4. So x is equal to 4. So these are the two values which we have looked for, which are here. So either of the way, mathematics has no limited way of finding the answer. In fact, there are some ways which you have not even expressed here, which are there. When they are used, maybe the same answers may be looked for. Or you can stick to the same two ways to find the answers in the x axis. So these were the answers which the question was demanding for. And apart from that, we still have also another question on the minimum point of the graph. So let me use this space now. So there's nothing complicated here. For us to find the minimum point, there are 2 ways or 3 ways for us to do that. So the first one, the simple one, if you have not timed an exam, if you want to find the minimum point, you can just say, okay, x1 plus x2 over 2. Then you get these values. So we have negative 2 plus 4 over 2. So negative 2 plus plus 4, we are expecting to get positive 2 over, so positive 2 over 2. And this one, we are getting a 1. So this one now we have found. The process is still going. Then we'll say, therefore, y is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8. I've just used this equation, which you normally use. So from here, y is equal to, now while there is x, you replace with this value. So squared minus 2, 1, minus 8, 1 times 1, expecting 1, minus, getting 2 minus 8. So 1 minus 2, we are finding that it would be negative 1 minus 8. Then when the signs are same, what do? When the signs are same, we add to maintain the sign from a bigger number. So I expect to have negative 9. So negative 9, as I said earlier on to say, you need to understand the values of the xy plane. This part of positive, negative, negative, and positive. So it is coming like this on the negative, and our answer is negative. Then the other way of finding this value, apart from this one, you can just differentiate this same equation, thereby saying if you have y is equal to x squared, then minus 2x minus 8, to differentiate, you understand that it is dy over dx, which is equal to, here you need to multiply these two with the coefficient number, which is 1. So 2 times 1 will be 2, then x, then take out 1 from 2, so it remains like this. Here there's a 1, so 1 times 2, it is 2, so negative 2. Then 1, we take out 1 to give us a 0, and later, n now the power 0, it's 1. 1 times 2 is 2. This number does not variable, so it is same as 0, you just cancel it. So from here, we're going now to say 2x minus 2 is equal to 0. This one now becomes 0. Then from there, we'll say 2x is equal to 0 plus 2. So 2x is equal to 2 over 2 over 2. Then 2 here will cancel, say x is equal to 1 as well. So you can use this way of differentiating. You find the value of y. Then this value I've found, you can also plug it in now in the equation which is given in the original question. If you don't want to use differentiation or this method, you can also use the formula for the turning point, because this part is turning point, where you can say now, x is equal to negative b over 2a. So from the data which we had, we know that negative b, the value for b is negative 2. So this negative already here, same bracket, negative 2, close, then 2 here, 1 here. So we're going to put 1 here as well. Apart from that, so negative, it will give us now positive 2 over 2 times 1 to give us a 2, then 2 into 2, it will give us a 1. So these are the 3 ways you can look for this value which you can plug in the formula for you to get the maximum or the minimum. So this question always comes in an exam. So also demonstrate another type of a question where now the part is given, you need to plot for yourself. So for today, we end here. We'll also upload another video which will consist the plotting of the graph when the question has been given like that. Remember, on this channel we teach mathematics, sciences, and apart from that we also teach BAOS in the English, as well as optional subjects which will include civic education, RE. Also now we are offering commerce. So for now, we call it a night.